Ice cream is supposed to be one of the purest pleasures you can indulge in, right? Creamy texture, natural dairy ingredients, that nostalgic taste that brings you back to childhood summers. But here is the dirty secret. The ice cream industry does not want you to know. Most of the ice cream sold in Australian supermarkets is not real ice cream. I am not exaggerating. Independent testing and label analysis have shown that up to 60% of products marketed as ice cream in Australia are actually frozen desserts, loaded with vegetable oils, emulsifiers, and artificial ingredients. You are paying premium prices for whipped air and vegetable fat with a bit of flavoring added. I have spent months researching this, analyzing ingredient labels, talking to food scientists, reading consumer reports, and even conducting my own taste comparisons. What I discovered is absolutely shocking. The ice cream industry is one of the most deceptive food industries in Australia, and consumers are getting absolutely ripped off. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which brands to avoid and how to spot fake ice cream. Number 10. Woolworths Essentials Vanilla Ice Cream. Let's start with Woolworths House brand budget option. At $4 for 2 litres, it seems like incredible value. But this product is not even legally classified as ice cream in many countries. It is a frozen dessert. The first red flag is right on the ingredients list. Water is the first ingredient, not cream or milk. Real ice cream should have cream as the primary ingredient. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment. Skim milk concentrate, vegetable origin emulsifiers 471 and 476, vegetable gums 412 and 410, colors and flavors. These are industrial additives designed to mimic cream texture while using the cheapest possible base. I did a melting test. The Woolworths product melted into a watery puddle with separated texture. Real ice cream melts into creamy liquid. This separated into water and fat, proving it is an emulsion held together by chemicals. The taste is bland and artificial with barely any cream flavor. The texture is icy and grainy because this product has massive overrun, meaning it is pumped full of air to increase volume and reduce costs. You are literally buying AIR. Number 9. Coles Smart Buy Vanilla Ice Cream. Same story as Woolworths, different supermarket. At $3.80 for 2 litres, the price tells you the quality is questionable. The ingredients are virtually identical. Water first, skim milk solids, glucose syrup, vegetable oils, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and flavors. Notice what is missing. No cream. The vegetable oil gives this product a waxy mouthfeel. Real dairy fat melts cleanly in your mouth. Vegetable fats coat your palate with greasy residue. I conducted a blind taste test with 10 people, comparing Coles Smart Buy to premium dairy ice cream. 9 out of 10 people correctly identified the Coles product as inferior, describing it as icy, chemical tasting, and lacking rich cream flavor. The texture is the giveaway. When you scoop this, it is simultaneously hard and icy, yet it melts into a strange, foamy texture from the whipped air and emulsifiers. Choice has consistently rated house brand budget ice creams poorly for quality. You are getting fake ingredients, excessive air, and minimal dairy content. Number 8. Streets Blue Ribbon. Streets is one of Australia's most iconic brands, which makes this disappointing. Blue Ribbon has traded on nostalgia since the 1950s, but the modern formula is nothing like what your grandparents ate. At $8 for 2 litres, it is mid-priced, but check the label carefully. It says frozen confection, industry speak for could not meet the legal definition of ice cream. The ingredients include reconstituted milk, vegetable oils, glucose syrup, and emulsifiers, stabilizers, and colors. The milk fat is below the threshold for real ice cream. They have replaced dairy cream with vegetable oil to cut costs while maintaining profits. The deceptive marketing bothers me most. The packaging shows fresh dairy imagery, branding implies quality and tradition, but the actual product is a heavily processed frozen dessert exploiting Australian nostalgia. The taste is overly sweet to mask the lack of real cream flavour. The texture is foamy and light from high overrun. Real ice cream should be dense and rich, not whipped air with flavouring. Streets has multiple product lines, some better than others. but Blue Ribbon represents the worst of mass-market frozen desserts at mid-tier prices. Number 7. Peter's Light and Creamy. Peter's Light and Creamy is particularly problematic. The name is misleading. Light suggests healthier, but really means they have removed milk fat and replaced it with air and additives. At $9 for 2 litres, the ingredient list is dominated by skim milk, water, and glucose syrup. To achieve a creamy texture without cream, they load it with emulsifiers, vegetable gums, and stabilizers. The texture is artificially smooth from gums and emulsifiers, and it can coat your mouth in an unpleasant way. The health halo marketing bothers me. They position this as better because it is lower in fat, but they have removed healthy dairy fats and replaced them with sugar and additives. The sugar content is actually higher than full-fat ice cream. Choice testing found Peter's Light and Creamy scored poorly on taste tests. The panel described it as icy, lacking flavor with an artificial mouthfeel. If you are going to eat ice cream, eat real ice cream in moderation, not this heavily processed frozen dessert that is marketed as healthier when it is actually worse. Number 6. Buller Frozen Yogurt Range. Buller is generally reputable, but their frozen yogurt range disappoints. At $10 for 2 litres, it is sold as a premium product, but the ingredients do not justify the cost. The ingredient list names skim milk yogurt, but it also lists water, sugar, glucose syrup, vegetable gums, and multiple emulsifiers. The yogurt content is actually quite low. This is mostly water and sugar with yogurt flavouring. The live bacterial cultures that make yogurt beneficial are destroyed during freezing in most commercial frozen yogurts. You are not getting probiotic benefits, just sweetened frozen milk with yogurt flavouring. The sugar content is higher than many full-fat ice creams. Lower fat means they compensate with extra sugar to make it palatable. The texture is icy, and it melts into a watery mess. Real ice cream maintains structure as it melts. Buller's frozen yogurt separates into water and milk solids because it is an emulsion held together by additives. For that price, you are paying premium prices for sweetened frozen milk. You can buy real ice cream from quality producers for the same or less. Number 5. Connoisseur Belgian Chocolate. This might surprise you. Connoisseur is marketed as premium, gourmet ice cream. At $11 per litre, more than double budget brands, is it worth it? Connoisseur does contain real cream, which puts it ahead of frozen desserts. But cream content is only 21% in many varieties. Better than budget brands, but not as high as expected for premium products at premium prices. The rest includes skim milk concentrate, glucose syrup, sugar, vegetable emulsifiers, vegetable gums, colours and flavours. For $11 per litre, I expect minimal additives and maximum dairy. This is a mid-tier product with premium pricing and packaging. Connoisseur tastes better than Woolworths, but not worth double or triple the price. You are paying for marketing, fancy packaging, and brand positioning. Choice testing found Connoisseur scored well for flavour, but not significantly better than products half the price. They are owned by Nestlé, mass-produced in the same factories as Peter's, using similar industrial processes. At $11 per litre, Connoisseur represents poor value for brand name and packaging, not genuinely superior ingredients. Number 4. Magnum. Magnum bars are heavily marketed as premium indulgence, with beautiful advertising and sophisticated packaging. At $2.50 per bar in multi-packs, you are paying premium prices. Magnum is owned by Unilever, the same company that owns Streets, and it is manufactured in the same industrial facilities. The ingredients include reconstituted skim milk, sugar, glucose syrup, coconut oil, cocoa butter, whole milk powder, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and flavors. The ice cream is mid-quality. The chocolate coating is where Magnum skimps most. They market it as Belgian chocolate, but it is compound chocolate made with vegetable fats, not real chocolate made purely from cocoa butter. Real premium chocolate uses cocoa butter exclusively. Compound chocolate replaces cocoa butter with cheaper palm or coconut oil. The taste and texture are inferior. I compared Magnum to genuine Belgian chocolate. The difference is stark. Real chocolate melts smoothly with complex flavors. Magnum chocolate has a waxy texture and one-dimensional sweetness. You are paying premium prices for mass-produced bars with compound chocolate coating. Number 3. Ben & Jerry's. This will be controversial. Ben & Jerry's has cult devotion among fans. The quirky names, the social justice marketing, the premium pricing. At $13 to $14 for 458 milliliters, nearly $30 per litre, you would expect the absolute best. Ben & Jerry's was sold to Unilever in 2000. It is owned by the same corporation as Magnum and Streets, and it is manufactured in industrial facilities using mass-produced methods. The ingredients are not bad. They use real cream and interesting mix-ins. But the base contains emulsifiers, stabilizers, and gums, like cheaper brands. For $30 per litre, I expect pure ingredients. Consumer testing found that in blind tests, many could not distinguish Ben & Jerry's from brands half the price. The flavour comes primarily from the mix-ins, the cookies, the brownies, and the candy, not from a superior base ice cream. The social justice marketing, while the brand is owned by Unilever, a corporation with a questionable environmental and labour record, bothers me. They are selling an ethical image while operating as a standard industrial manufacturer. At $13 for a small tub, you are paying for the brand name, the quirky marketing, and the perceived ethics, not for product quality that justifies nearly $30 per litre.
Number 2. Häagen-Dazs. Häagen-Dazs positions itself as the ultimate premium ice cream. The name sounds European and sophisticated. It is completely made up. The company was started in New York, and they invented a European-sounding name to seem premium. At $14 to $15 for 457 milliliters, that is over $30 per litre. Häagen-Dazs is one of the most expensive ice creams in Australian supermarkets. The ingredients are better than most mass-market brands. Real cream, egg yolks in some varieties, and no artificial colours. But for $30 plus per litre, the ingredient quality should be exceptional. What I am seeing is good, but not extraordinary. The cream content is higher than Connoisseur, which is positive, but they still use emulsifiers and stabilizers. For truly artisanal ice cream at this price, I expect minimal to no additives. Choice magazine testing found Häagen-Dazs scored well on taste, but not dramatically better than products 1/3 of the price. The dense texture comes partly from lower overrun and also from added egg yolks and stabilizers. What frustrates me about Häagen-Dazs is it is owned by Nestlé outside the US and by General Mills in some markets. This is not a small artisanal producer. It is industrial ice cream from a multinational corporation manufactured in large facilities using economies of scale. The premium pricing is purely brand positioning. When you pay $15 for a tiny tub of Häagen-Dazs, you are paying for decades of marketing that has convinced consumers this is premium. The actual ingredient cost is a fraction of the retail price. You can buy genuinely artisanal ice cream from local Australian producers made fresh in small batches using better ingredients for the same or lower price. But Häagen-Dazs has the marketing muscle to dominate premium shelf space.
Number 1. Peter's Drumstick. It is not the worst quality, but it represents everything wrong with the Australian ice cream industry. Drumsticks are marketed as a fun, iconic Australian treat. Kids love them, and adults feel nostalgic. At around $10 for a multi-pack, they seem like decent value. But let us examine what you are actually buying. A drumstick consists of a wafer cone, a small amount of ice cream, a chocolate coating, nuts, and a chocolate plug at the bottom. The total ice cream content is minimal. You are paying mostly for cone, coating, and packaging. The ice cream filling is a low-quality frozen dessert. The ingredients include reconstituted skim milk, glucose syrup, vegetable oil, emulsifiers, stabilizers, colors, and flavors. There is barely any cream. It is sweetened milk with vegetable fat. The wafer cone contains vegetable oil, wheat flour, sugar, and emulsifiers. It is not a quality wafer. It is an industrial cone that often tastes stale or has that distinctive old cardboard flavor. The chocolate coating is not real chocolate. It is compound chocolate made with vegetable fats, the same issue as Magnum. They call it chocolate, but it is cocoa powder mixed with palm oil or coconut oil, not real chocolate made with cocoa butter. What makes Drumstick particularly offensive is the value proposition. You are paying $10 for a box where each cone contains maybe 50 milliliters of low-quality frozen dessert, a cheap wafer, and fake chocolate. If you calculated the cost per litre of actual ice cream, it would be astronomical. Peters has been making drumsticks since 1963. They trade on nostalgia and brand recognition to sell inferior products to new generations. Parents buy them for their kids because they remember drumsticks fondly, not realizing the formula has changed dramatically over 60 years. Independent nutritional analysis shows drumsticks are loaded with sugar, vegetable oils, and minimal nutritional value. They are ultra-processed junk food disguised as ice cream. Consumer advocates recommend you avoid novelty ice cream products like drumsticks because they represent the worst value and quality in the category. You are paying for packaging, branding, and convenience, not quality ingredients or good taste. If you want ice cream, buy actual ice cream and put it in a cone yourself. You will get better quality for less money.
So what should you buy? Here are the ice cream brands actually worth your money. Number 1, Icy Pole or Cold Rock ice cream. This is genuine Australian ice cream made fresh with high dairy content, minimal additives, and available at boutique stores. Number 2, Messina. This is premium gelato-style ice cream made in Australia with exceptional ingredients. Yes, it is expensive at around $15 for 500 milliliters, but unlike Haagen-Dazs, it actually delivers on quality. Messina uses single origin ingredients, high cream content, and innovative flavors. Number 3, Augusto or other artisanal local producers. Many Australian cities have local ice cream makers producing genuine small batch products. These typically use Australian dairy, real fruit, minimal additives, and charge fair prices that reflect actual ingredient costs. Number 4, Bulla Creamy Classics. While I criticize Bulla's frozen yogurt range, their Creamy Classics line is actually real ice cream. It contains genuine cream, milk, and minimal additives. At around $8 for 2 litres, it is reasonable value for actual ice cream rather than frozen dessert. Number 5, if you are on a budget, make your own. A simple ice cream recipe requires cream, milk, sugar, eggs, and vanilla. You can make superior ice cream at home for less than the cost of premium brands, and you will know exactly what is in it. If this video shocked you and opened your eyes to the ice cream scam, hit the like button right now. Share this video with everyone you know, your family, your friends, your co-workers. They need to see this information because most Australians have no idea they are being ripped off. Subscribe to the channel because I am exposing more food industry frauds and helping you make better choices for your health and your wallet. Hit the bell icon so you do not miss the next video. Comment below and tell me which ice cream brand surprised you the most, or if you have been using any of these fake products and did not realize it. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. Together we are going to hold these companies accountable and stop getting ripped off. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.